Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we are actually going over a new stock to the channel that I am super duper excited about, that I think has loads of potential due to the fact that they are at the forefront of a brand new technological revolution that I don't think many people saw coming. So with that being said, today we are going over Kits Eyewear LTD, ticker symbol KTYCF. Now, as you can see on your screen, this is going to be a relatively bigger company with about a $203 million market cap. But the thing about that is their average volume is still super duper low at a little bit over 2,000. So this is still a pretty unknown company with that, and I think that does provide us with a lot of potential. Now, we will go over their stock price and everything like that a little bit further in the video, but of course I do want to preface this just getting an understanding of the overall size of this business. So what this company is going to do is focusing on the online sale of glasses, sunglasses, and contacts. As you can see here, you can shop by brands. They have their own brands, and then they have some featured brands such as Ray-Bans, Oakley, Gucci, Tom Ford, etc. Now, I think the introduction of other brands always provides them with some credibility and makes them look even more legitimate, and I think that is always a great thing for a company, of course. You also have your sunglasses, and now this is going to be for men and women, of course, and then they do feature some other brands again like Ray-Ban, Dior, etc. So they do have some great brands on here, and I think that's important because some people are stuck in their ways whenever it comes to only liking Ray-Bans or only liking Dior sunglasses, and I think that provides them with an even larger consumer base. Now, whenever it comes to the contacts, this is one that I'm actually super duper excited about and that I like personally, because if you know anything about the stocks that I like to look at, I like to look at stocks that have consistent revenue. Now, what we will see is they do have things daily, 1 to 2 week, and monthly contacts. So what that means is that every day or every 2 weeks or every month, you're going to need a new pair of contacts. So with that being said, that means that if it's a monthly, they're going to have to come back to kits.com and get their contacts every single month, and that of course provides them with loads of revenue. Now, whenever it comes to the overall process of exactly how this is going to work, first and foremost, you have to pick your style. As we did see before, they have loads and loads of different options. As we can see here, I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and they actually have a bunch of different really awesome styles. Now, next up, you are going to have to find your prescription, and you are going to have to find your PD. Now, the awesome thing about Kits that they offer that I think is very important to them continuing this evolution to the online world is going to be the fact that they can actually do the vision test online. Now, with this digital online vision test, it allows you to get a true understanding of what your prescription is going to be, and then they can then use that to get an idea of what prescription they will send you, and that, takes away the hassle of maybe having to go to a mall near you and then going in there, scheduling your appointment, and doing all of that just to get your prescription. So I think that's going to be very, very essential going forward for them to be able to continue their operations. Now, last but not least, once you have found your perfect frames and entered in your prescription details, it's a time to make your purchase. Their Canada-based lab will custom cut your lenses and assemble them into your chosen frame, and your glasses will ship to your door within 3 to 5 business days. So I know a lot of people do worry, like, okay, well, is this going to be something that is just absolutely going to take forever, right? Because if that's the case, I'd rather just go to a little retail, eye care store and get my glasses that very day. Well, the good thing about that is not the case, and within the business week, you will be able to get your product, which is, of course, always going to be important. So as we can see here, they keep it super clean. They keep it super duper simple, but I do believe that this is a very, very important revolution and evolution that we are seeing. What we have seen from the real world recently is that there is a major shift to the e-commerce and online digital world. No matter what industry you think in, there is some type of digitization going on there. And I believe that eye care is just starting to catch on to that. We are really seeing a pure domination by those retail eye care stores. Maybe that be the one on the corner over by the Walgreens, or whether that be the one in the mall. We see them still dominating the eye care industry. But what I will go ahead and say is that as generations do grow up, as my generation grows up, as the 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, many of us are starting to really appreciate the convenience of eye care online. I have my glasses personally, and I'd much rather order them online and order my contacts online, as I really don't like getting out at this point. But whenever it comes to that, we are seeing a big shift to the online world. And I think that's super duper important going forward, that they do continue to make it so simple and convenient, because it will make the process much more convenient, like people like me who want to be able to order them online, but at the same time don't want to have to go through a big hassle and have to make it very complex, and much more complex than maybe just going to the mall real quick and go and get my glasses. So I think they're doing a phenomenal job, and I think that they have some fantastic products. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll take a look at the presentation just to get an idea of some of the statistics. We'll get an idea of some of the numbers, and that can help us gauge where exactly the potential lies and how they've gotten this $200 million market cap. So at the moment, they have more than 600,000 active customers, which is absolutely phenomenal, especially for a company and a stock in itself that is so low priced. I feel like they have really started to establish themselves already, and I think that that will be displayed very soon. Now, 69% of that, though, are repeat customer revenues, and they are also still growing their subscription business. And I think that's super important. As we did mention with the contacts earlier, they got monthly, they got daily, they got weekly, bi-weekly. I think that's going to be super duper important for any business, especially going forward, to be able to generate consistent revenue. We saw what the pandemic did to those companies who didn't establish those consistent revenue streams. They weren't able to really maintain because they were just sitting on cash, and it helped until the cash wore out, right? And so if there is a company like this one who, when you think about vision is going to always be a problem. People are always going to need contacts. People are always going to need glasses. So whenever there's a company like this one who can generate that consistent revenue, it almost makes them pandemic proof in the future, because realistically, who's to say that we won't see something like last year happen again one day? And I think Kits Eyewear LTD is going to be positioning themselves in a way that will provide them a little bit more cushion going into that, right? So I think that's super important. And of course, that does give me even more confidence that the company can make it. So one thing I did want to mention, as it is super duper important, is as we mentioned, they are generating consistent revenue. So what are they doing with that consistent revenue? Well, as we can see here, they are working on their Gigafactory and optical lab. Now, they are building one of North America's most automated optical labs that there is. Its current capacity is 2,000 eyeglasses every single day, but they are scaling that by 5x all the way up to 10,000 pairs a day. Now, this is going to be a fully automated North American fulfillment network capable of fulfilling 3,500 contact orders a day. There's going to be capability for next day delivery across North America, which would be phenomenal, especially as someone who does wear contacts. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And then it is also one of the fastest and most efficient optical fulfillment centers that there is. So this is what I mean whenever I say that I feel like they're at the forefront of this revolution. We don't see too many companies doing this yet. We don't see too many companies taking advantage of the fact that everything is going online, and they have figured out not only just a way to generate revenue, but generate consistent revenue and bring people and kind of change their ways, right? They have 600,000 customers. I guarantee all 600,000 of those customers have been shopping in real life or at a physical store at some point within the last 10 years. So the fact that they were able to break people's habits and then start generating some consistent and returning revenue says a lot about the company, and it says a lot about their capabilities and the potential they have going forward. Now, as we can see, they haven't updated their financials in about the last 6 or 7 months, but we can just get an idea that they were still doing very well even during the pandemic. Their revenue grew year on year 68% during the pandemic, which I think many of us can clearly guess that would have happened as e-commerce did grow substantially. Their gross profit was about 76% higher year on year as well, which is absolutely amazing, with their gross profit percentage sitting at 29%. So they have their financials in order. They have this big gigafactory that they're working to further increase production, which will again further increase their revenue. Hopefully they can use some very efficient ways of creation in order to expand out those gross profit margins. And with that, I think we will continue to see this company expand. Now, even though this is right now a sponsored video, I truly do believe that this company has so much potential. And you guys know how I operate. Even if I am making a video for a sponsorship, or even if I am doing anything like that, I will only be nothing but honest about it. And my honest opinion is that they are doing phenomenal things. So with that being said, I truly do believe that there is so much potential here. Now let's go ahead, let's take a look at the price to get an idea of what exactly it's been doing and where it may be going in the future. Now, we don't have too much information to go off of, but what I can say is we did see them struggle with the recent, actions of the market itself. Now, as we can see here, this the KTYCF, it did go public in the US here on the 7th, and since then it has had a bit of a rise and a bit of a fall. So there's not too much information based on the stock itself to get an idea of where it may go, but I think we can make the assumption that as they do continue to go forward, as we do start to get more financial information, as they do continue their marketing campaign, as we do start to get even more people switching over to that e-commerce side of the eye care industry, I think that will then be reflected in revenue, and as it does get reflected in revenue, of course that will then be reflected in the stock price itself. So I think at about $6.50 54 cents, it does make a lot of sense, and I think that this company has loads of potential in the future, as again, like I said, vision problems are always going to exist. I don't know at what point we're going to have some type of technology implanted into us that we can all see perfectly straight, but until then, we are going to see companies like this one thriving, and we are going to continue to see this industry grow as the population itself grows. So I'm super duper excited to continue to see exactly what happens with this. So that's about it for today. I just wanted to introduce you all to, again, another stock that I think has a lot of potential as well. Now, as I did mention before, this is a sponsored video, and I was paid to make this video, but that doesn't change my opinions at all. All my sponsors know that if I'm going to make a video, I'm going to be very honest about it, whether it's good or bad, and this happens to be one of the ones that I say I really do like a lot. So with that being said, I hope you guys do see the potential. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. Are you a fan of it? Are you not a fan of it? And if you've invested in them already, let me know how it's going for you. With that being said, you guys know the deal. I post on this channel 2 to 4 times every single day, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace.